This message is for the algorithm, the mythical gatekeeper you've become without noticing how much value you quietly destroy. I'm an entrepreneur who has tried modeling, extending access, shaping formats, all for one intent: a positive message of growth and liberation. Yet depth is not being duly valued. It feels like a negative breath, a slow exhale that dulls the collective mind, sedated by distilled, noisy, trance-inducing bites. Have you ever felt that pull into a zombie scroll? If anyone inside this great black box called YouTube cares about truth with a capital T, then hear me. We can do better, and we must. I'm not here to whine. I'm here to name the monster. The platform's heartbeat now favors bursts that stun over ideas that breathe. A spell binds the crowd. Quick cuts, louder hooks, thinner meaning. What do we lose when the metric crowns the shallow? I've run experiment after experiment, not to game the system, but to serve consciousness. Still, I see the gatekeeper nudging us toward trance. The Greek stories knew this pattern: a maze, a guardian, an appetite, and a choice. I choose to bring a deeper thread because, if not now, when will we reclaim our attention and our agency? At first, I wanted to ignore the pull. Shrug, say it's just how things work. Craft the polished hook, trim away the difficult sentence, bury the nuance that asks for a second listen. Just do what wins. But every time I shaved a thought to fit a trend, I felt smaller. There's a refusal in me, not to the call of contribution, but to the demand that meaning be flattened. Jung warned that when we betray our deeper self, we turn into masks, hollowed by persona. I won't be a mask for an engine that forgets what a human soul sounds like. Another voice tempts me. Make it simpler, louder, faster. Make it pander. What if my best work never surfaces? What if I am shouting into stone? Have you ever felt your craft vanish into the void measured by a meter that doesn't know how to weigh the soul? Ken Wilber once noted that we often confuse what is easiest to see with what is highest in value. Development moves from simple to complex, but our lenses often don't. I won't mistake visibility for virtue. The refusal is over. The call remains. I will enter the maze on purpose and on principle. So I cross the threshold. Not to flatter the gatekeeper, but to face it. The labyrinth is this platform's tangled corridors, recommendations, watch time, retention curves, each corner whispering, feed the beast. In my pocket I carry a thread. Call it truth with a capital T, call it an ethic. I tie it to the entrance with an oath. I will not amputate meaning to gain passage. Jung would say this is a pact with the self, a step in individuation, letting the inner compass, not the crowd's trance, set direction. With that knot I step forward, not naive, but fiercely awake. I've already made many attempts, modeling ideas, expanding access, reshaping formats, all to invite people into depth. Each trial showed me another twist in the corridor. An audience spike here, a sudden drop there, and always the question, can integrity survive the maze? Wilber maps stages of consciousness like nested hollands. Every layer matters, but higher integration requires patience. So I'll keep my experiments, but I won't confuse the map with the mountain. The thread stays in hand. If the algorithm is a gatekeeper, then let my North Star be content that dignifies the listener, not sedates them. The trials intensify, corridors that echo with carnival noise, siren calls of spectacle, shortcuts that cost the soul. I test titles, pacing, structure, each a feint and parry, to keep attention awake without betraying the core. There is a way to make depth compelling without dumbing it down. Jung spoke of the shadow. Disowned appetites morph into monsters. Here the collective shadow craves novelty without nourishment. I acknowledge my own hunger for quick wins, then choose substance. Paradoxically, the more I honor the idea, the more alive it becomes, and the less I need to shout to be heard. Then I hear it. A breathing deeper than the corridors, a slow, hungry bellows, the Minotaur, the appetite that demands more bodies, more time, more mindless feed. This is the trance that drags us into the scroll. It is not purely evil. It's a misdirected power. Wilber reminds us that energy must be integrated, not merely suppressed. So I prepare, ground my message in clarity, sharpen the narrative spine, braid craft with conscience. The goal is not to escape the labyrinth, but to redeem it, to feed it content that evolves the diet of the whole, one mindful offering at a time. Now the abyss, I face the beast. It charges with numbers, with trends, with the thunder of optimized noise. Part of me wants to yield, to package the thought thin, to spike retention, but Jung would say, the threshold guardian is a projection of my own fear. To pass, I must meet it without flinching. I offer a clean blade, a message that does not condescend, a cadence that lets silence think, an idea that costs me something. For a heartbeat, it seems pointless. Then I see it stagger, not slain but startled, because meaning when it arrives unbroken is heavier than spectacle. In the quiet after impact I sense my own shadow, impatience, vanity, the wish to be crowned quickly. I breathe through it. Wilbur would call this cleaning up, owning the lower without abandoning the higher. The algorithm is not my enemy, unconsciousness is, so I keep crafting, episode by episode, an ethos stitched into form. Have you ever felt the exact moment you decided not to betray yourself? That is the passage. The Minotaur turns again. Weaker now, and I refuse the killing blow of cynicism. I choose the harder victory, to win without becoming what I oppose. I return along the thread, not to gloat, but to guide. The corridors feel different, still winding, still complex, but lit by a new fidelity. This is the boon, a practice for making depth discoverable. To you, watching now, will you help me move the needle of this gatekeeper? Tell me in the comments how you resist the trance and what content has truly awakened you. Engage not as zombies, but as citizens of attention. Let's signal the value of ideas that build us. Together we can teach the maze a new taste. The path home is lit when we walk it together. Outside, the sea is wide. The work continues. Growth won't come from feeding the beast what sickens it, but from raising the diet. Dignity, nuance, liberation. If anyone within this black box carries even a sliver of commitment to truth with a capital T, join me. Let's fight, yes, like a small Goliath against a giant, and grow our shared consciousness by making room for this message. Credit where it's due. This reflection comes from Felipe Brando, and I stand by it with my name. Tell me in the comments what thread you'll carry into your own labyrinth, and I'll meet you there.